Okay, so today we are going to take a really cute pair of tights that already have a scale design on them, and they are stretchy, which is nice, and we are going to add to the base of these tights a little bit of fabric to make what looks like fins. Now this particular pair of tights stops about mid-calf. It's really important to find out where your tights stop because you want to make sure your fins are measured not to be so long that you're going to trip on them. That's particularly important with the little ones. If you don't have fish scale tights, which a lot of us don't, just have these hanging out in our wardrobe, you can buy a pair of tights or take another pair of tights you have hanging around, fabric marker or a glitter pen, and just like draw your scales on. So what I did is I took some chiffon, which is a nice fabric that you can use to make your fins. So I just take my organza or whatever fabric I'm using and I cut it out to be 2 times the width of the base of these pants, right? So you're going to measure your pants. Make sure you stretch them to their fullest extent of stretch. This is important. Ruler or with a measuring tape, and you're going to go, oh, these are about 6 inches on one edge. You multiply that, you get 12. That means it's 12 inches around. Want your fin to be 2 times that measurement at the top edge. So that's 24 inches. The other measurement you want to get is the length from the base of your leg to where you want your fin to fall. That is to use your straight edge to cut your fabric. You can also use a nice pair of fabric shears. Don't use your paper scissors. They will kind of mangle your fabric. Once you have done that, you're going to finish your edges, and you can see here I finished my edges with a little serged edge, but you could zigzag that if you have a sewing machine. I'll show you what that looks like. You could fold it over and glue it down with fabric glue. I like Fabri-Tac. You can also use Fabri-Tac for every portion of this where you attach fabric to another fabric, but today I'm going to be using my sewing machine because that's what I do. I'm a seamstress and I just want to show you all a few stitches. So I'm going to move my machine to the zigzag stitch because I'm going to gather the top of the chiffon. I'm going to make it a wide zigzag for my own personal ease. So I lengthen the stitch length and I make it wider. Your machine will have those directions if you haven't done this before. But you're going to take your dental floss and you're going to place it at the top edge of your fabric that's going to be your fin. You're going to put it in place. Make sure that your zigzag is wide enough that it is not going to sew into your dental floss, and then you are going to just sew that dental floss in. And once it's sewn in place, we're going to use that dental floss to gather the top of this, and it is magic. You can glue. And if you don't have a sewing machine and you can't gather on a machine, you can always take your fabric glue and pleat these fins in place. Make sure this is facing up. You're going to take some pins, and I just use whatever pins for this. They're not, special. And you're going to overlap these 2 ends because we're going to leave that open. You don't have to have a seam there, and it allows for a little kick room when you're walking, which is another way to avoid tripping. So then I find the halfway point on both of these and I match them. No math, no measuring, it's all by eyeball. So you've got your 2 ends, everything is pinned in place, and now you pull your cord and see how it just kind of magically gathers your fabric. It's so fast and so easy to get a ruffle this way. And we're done. that is all in place. To sew on our ruffle, and it's really important because this is stretchy fabric that you use a good stitch for your stretchy fabric. If you don't have this little, what we call this special stitch, which is for stretch, then you can use your zigzag stitch. You just want to make it narrow and keep it long. But I'm going to stretch my leg over this arm. Most modern machines have the arm like this. Pull my needle up. Just make sure that you don't have any fabric bunched up that you don't want under your needle. Drop your presser foot, and then we're going to just start out. So you can totally attach this with fabric glue instead, which is going to be faster to attach, but you'll need to let it dry. Turn your leg inside out and you will have your very nice little fin here. You'll see that it's got the opening, so you've got a little kick space